last night.
Do you know what's rheumatism? It's the same thing in English, I don't know.
For rheumatism. I never heard of the drug, so I can't tell you whether it's allowed or not. The only way you would check is that you use your card when you go to the pharmacy, they'll tell you. You don't have to buy it if you don't. You just say, is it covered? They'll just look in the system and they'll say, yes, it is covered under your plan. Because there's over 7,000 drugs. I don't know them all. Next. Okay, vision care. Well, we already had a question on that. And vision care, you're covered for one eye exam a year. Now, what's not written there is that the eye exam has a maximum of $140 a year. But that should cover most eye exams. Usually they don't cost that much. I'm not sure what they are in BC, but I've never seen more than $140. So I think most of you would be fine. And you're also covered for eyeglasses and contact lenses to $400 a year. And so that's also what you have eligible, and there's some people have eyeglasses here, so that's something that you may find of interest. As I indicated before, laser eye surgery is not covered.
What about sunglasses?
Prescription sunglasses are covered, but not regular sunglasses that have no prescription. Yes.
So for eye exam and the glasses, it covers up to $540, 400 plus 100.
No, it's 140 for the eye exam, so that's one thing,
Yes.
and then $400 for the glasses. Two separate items. All right. You're also covered for out-of-country coverage. So let's say you travel, and you're traveling to another country, or you're returning home. You are covered for out-of-country coverage. The difference, though, is that it's only in case of an emergency. So you can't travel to go get treatment. It has to be because it was an emergency. So if you're traveling to the States and you slip and fall and you break a leg, that's an emergency. That's an accident. If you want to go to the States because you can't get an MRI here in BC and you want to go get it in the States, that's not covered. It has to be an accident. And I'll give you an example again. There was the wife of one Saudi student who is now in Saudi Arabia. She's pregnant, and she wanted her pregnancy-related costs covered while she's in Saudi Arabia. Well, that's not an emergency, so that's not covered. So just be careful that in terms of how you view that, it's for emergencies only. Now, if you are traveling, and I'll show you that in the back, but there's information in the back of the card. There's a 1-888 number to call in case you have an emergency in another country. This is very, very helpful. If you get, for example, an accident in the United States, you could easily get to $100,000 within a few days. And they will bill you. And they will hound you until you pay. But if you call the number, they will make the arrangements. So remember that when you travel, because otherwise it could be very inconvenient for you. Like, we'll pay, even if you don't have your card and you didn't call, we'll pay when we get the bill, but you will get the bill. They'll take your credit card, they will bill that credit card. I guarantee it. You can skip the next slide. Yeah. And last but not least, you have dental coverage. You have dental coverage for 100% of the cost for what we call routine, basic, and major restoration to a maximum of $5,000 a year. Now, what is routine, basic, and major? Well, routine is dental exams, so going to see a dentist for a regular checkup, cavities, root canals, gum treatments. Major is crowns or bridges. Orthodontics or braces are not covered. So teeth straightening is not covered under the plan. Teeth whitening is not covered under the plan. We've already had that asked many times. So those are not covered items.
What about if you have braces but you want to follow up? Is it covered?
No.
No.
Anything related to your braces is not covered.
Cleaning is not covered? No.
Sorry?
Cleaning
Cleaning is covered, yes.
is covered.
Yes. Even if you got your braces on.
Oh.
So that's fine. Cleaning, but not adjusting,
Oh.
because usually that's what comes into play.
What if for some reason exceeded the limit of 5,000 in a really serious issue, for example, I mean leads to a surgery, would that be covered for a doctor recommendation?
No, we can only cover you up to $5,000.
No more than that.
No more than that. And you have to realize that this plan is not what we made it. You know, the Cultural Bureau said, this is the plan we want. And so we are following what was given to us as instructions from your Cultural Bureau. So the $5,000 limit is not our limit, it's the limit that was set by the Cultural Bureau. Just so you know that, you know, don't be angry at us if that happens. But $5,000, believes me, covers enough services, but again, it all depends on the state of your teeth. Now, when you need treatment that will cost you more than $500, we strongly recommend that you send us the treatment plan before you get the treatment done. Now, the reason for that is because dentists can charge sometimes for services that are not covered under the plan, and it's important for you to know that ahead of time because you don't want to be surprised after. So what the dentist does, so you go to the dental office, let's just say, and they look at you and say, oh, you need a crown. And so a crown could cost $1,200 to $1,500 when you put everything in. He or she will make up the plan. They will send it to us through their system. So you don't have to take it and send it in the mail. They will do it for you. And you keep that in mind because, you know, ask them, say, send them the treatment plan, and they will do so. We will look at it. We will then get back to you and say, your dentist has submitted a plan for $1,200, and we can tell you the $1,200 is covered. So now you know. Or we can say, no, some of it is not covered. And so then you know that a part of it you may have to pay out of your own pocket. So it's recommended you do that. You don't have to, but you will be stuck with the bill after if it's not covered, just so that you know. And believe me, it's the same process we all have to follow. I have to follow the same process. It's typical process in Canada. Questions on any of the benefits? Okay. Okay, I'll find my notes again. All right. I believe most of you have applied for your card. So you have this card with you. So you know the process. For those of you who have not, you should be going to the portal. It's a very simple process. Put in your name, your date of birth, You will then be into the portal and you must give us your address. Once we have your address, we will then send a kit to you that has your card and information about the card. We need your address because we have no other way of finding you. So you have to come to us and then we can then find you. So for those of you who haven't applied, we strongly encourage that you do. And if you know people who haven't applied, then please encourage them to do it. It's, again, a very simple process. Next.
Someone just asked about, is there any connection between the company, your company, and BC Legal Insurance, or this is a separate?
Yeah. Is there a connection between Great West Life and BC Healthcare? No, there isn't. BC Healthcare is a government program. We are a private enterprise. We are an insurance company that operates privately. So BC Healthcare, being the government, sets its own rules, and we do not have any influence on those rules at all. We can't change them. We can't tell the BC government how to do things. All we can do is try to work with them. And that's what we're trying to do, is work with what they are offering. But we can't change what they do and how they do it.
Excuse me. There's another one asking about his wife is delivering a baby within a couple of months.
Yes.
And he hasn't got the BC card yet, but he has already the new plan. Would that be covered, or he should apply for BC and the Great Wall?
Okay, question there is that someone has not applied for BC Healthcare. The spouse is waiting to deliver a baby in the next few months. Should he apply for BC Healthcare? Yes, do that right away. He has his card, so this will cover him in the meantime, but he should go for his BC Healthcare card. And again, if that person's here or if not, we have the application form, so we can get that process underway fairly quickly. Go ahead. Skip that. Okay. Oops. Okay, you will get a package, and I think that I'm not going to spend too much time on that because most of you have your card, so you already know what's in here. You already received it. So, but for those of you who had not, once you've registered, you've given us your address, you will get a package that comes like this, and inside that package there is quite a bit of information. There's your card. There's a consent form. I'll talk about that a bit. There's a claim form, as well as other material that summarizes what I talked about in terms of what you're covered for, drugs and dental and so forth.
The question just came asking about he is living in a hotel and he already applied for the medical card.
Yeah.
And he's saying that I didn't receive it yet. It's been more than a week. More than 2 weeks.
See me after. See me after the presentation. We'll get your information.
And another question asking about the dental coverage. If it's exceeding the limit for the year, can we separate that between 2 years? So we can do half of the plan this year and the other half next year?
Yeah, I'll cover that. Okay, question on dental, so we'll go back to dental. So someone has expenses that, let's say, are $7,000. Can you split it over 2 years? Yes, you can, but the service has to be given in each year. So in other words, let's just say, I'll give you an example. You need 4 crowns, let's just say. So you need 4 crowns and that'll cost you $7,000. Well, you don't have to get 4 crowns done at the same time. If you do, then you're only going to get $5,000. But you can do 2 crowns 1 year, and you can do 2 crowns the year after. So that's a strategy that a lot of people use when you can. So in other words, split the service so that you can get the full